Good evening. Good evening and thanks for joining us. You're watching the 9 at Night. I'm Steve Spriester. New tonight, we are learning more about several arrests in connection with a human smuggling case. The Bexar County Sheriff says 3 people are facing charges. Warrants were executed at 3 separate locations today. Sheriff Javier Salazar says 6 migrants were found inside one of those stash houses, all of whom were taken to a shelter. Those arrested charged with human smuggling, engaging in organized crime, and keeping a stash house. Much more from the sheriff and on this developing story tonight on the Night Beat at 10. An 11-year-old boy rushed to the hospital this morning after he accidentally shot himself in the head. The San Antonio police chief says the boy found the gun in a drawer. Garrett Berger talked with an expert about making sure you're keeping your kids safe if you have weapons in the house.
At an apartment just outside downtown this morning, with several friends and a set of adults also inside, an 11-year-old came across a gun.
Supposedly it was tucked away in a drawer somewhere.
Thinking it was unloaded, the boy reportedly played with it and shot himself in the head.
Our children are naturally curious, and unfortunately, we can find ourselves in a situation where children find access to an unsecured weapon and it can unintentionally go off.
University Health is part of a coalition called Gun Safety for Bexar, which provides free cable and trigger locks. Director of Injury Prevention Jennifer Northway says they recommend guns be stored unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. For gun owners who want to keep their weapons loaded, she says those should be stored in a safe. There are models easily unlocked by a thumbprint or code.
A safe in that manner may help them feel like they have more accessibility to it.
But what do parents teach their kids in case they still come across a gun?
The messaging that we can provide to them is really stop, don't touch, leave the area, and tell an adult.
And if your kid is going to a friend's house to play, Northway says it's okay to ask their parents if they have guns in the home. And if they do,
while my child is over there, will it be locked, unloaded, and away from ammunition so that they're as safe as possible?
Because it only takes one moment for an accident. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
We are still working to learn the name of a woman killed in a fire overnight. This is the scene about 2 this morning on Mansfield Street near Petranco Road. Firefighters say they had trouble getting in due to the amount of items that were actually inside the home. One neighbor told our crew at the scene she wished she had gotten to know the victim better.
It's my next door neighbor. It's my mom's age. So this could happen to anyone. We were trying to, help her out, or we did approach her.
She says she didn't hear any commotion when the fire was happening. She slept through it all. To other news, he's accused of starting more than 15 fires in South Bexar County, and now he's in custody. This is a picture of 59-year-old Modesto Martinez. The Bexar County Fire Marshal's office says he set those fires over the last 2 to 3 months, all resulting in damaged vehicles, homes, and land. On one occasion, fire marshal deputies said they actually saw Martinez set a mobile home on fire. No injuries have been reported. Martinez charged with arson of habitation and may face additional charges as well. San Antonio police hoping you're going to recognize this dark colored SUV you're about to see. Police say someone in that SUV shot and killed a woman in another car. It happened back in December along I-10, not far from downtown. This was the victim, 27-year-old Rain Rice, hit by a single gunshot. Officers say the suspect SUV that you see right here was driving on Cesar Chavez Boulevard behind a white Hummer limo just before the shooting. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers 210-224-STOP. A difficult day for students, faculty, and staff at Henderson Elementary. That school's principal, Thomas Mackey, has died. Northside ISD says the district's grief response team were on campus today. They will be available to help students and staff as needed. Details on funeral arrangements haven't been released yet. All right, check this out. This video has been getting a ton of attention on our website and social media. Hail making its way inside the Alamo Dome during last night's storm. Happened during the 5A girls basketball state semifinal. It was briefly delayed as they tried to get all the hail off the floor itself. The director of convention and sports facilities for the city said the wind was strong enough to actually blow open a door, and the hail came in sideways through a vent in the roof of the Alamo Dome. Well, nothing like that tonight, that's for sure. Here's Adam Caskey with your forecast.
A cool start to the weekend. Saturday morning 47, but warming quickly. By noon we're 74, then a high of 81. Nothing but sunshine. Sunday we'll start the day at 52, sunny in the afternoon and 82, but a little bit of fog to start today. Overall beautiful, comfortable weekend, low humidity, 80s most of next week.
The Governor Greg Abbott was in town today. He stopped in town to talk state economic developments. Abbott spoke at a fireside chat with San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. The governor says recent developments for the state will better increase job opportunities in San Antonio. He describes Texas as being the only state capable of surviving a recession. And with new business developing here, the governor says he hopes San Antonio will continue to become a hub for commerce.
San Antonio already is a choke point, and that choke point is just going to get more clogged as business continues to grow.
The governor says Texas' massive budget surplus will be used to invest in infrastructure over the next 4 decades. The $33 billion on hand, the largest state surplus in the country. The U.S. housing market still facing challenges as mortgage rates continue to rise this week. The 30-year fixed rate on loans averaged just over 6.5%. That's up for the 4th week in a row and up nearly 4% from last year. The increase has slowed the number of buyers on the market. Mortgage applications have dropped for the 3rd week in a row. Economists say if things continue at this rate, it could mean trouble for the entire economy.
Because it's such a big part of the economy and means so much to so many people working in construction, and then all of the shops that go with building communities.
According to Realtor.com, the median price for a home in San Antonio, $299,000, slightly higher than this time last year. The average price a year ago, $290,000. MacBook owners have just a few days left to claim some lawsuit money and millions of Walmart candles recalled. But first, 12 News Side's Marilyn Moritz has a parent alert about feeding newborn babies.
When it comes to feeding newborns, equipment for bottle feeding and breastfeeding must be sterilized. That's the warning from the CDC after an infant boy died. He was infected with the same bacteria that led to the big formula recall last year. But this case wasn't formula. Investigators say the germ was tied to a contaminated breast pump. Experts say to thoroughly wash, sanitize, and dry hands and equipment before feeding the baby. Candle recall. More than 1 million 3-wick candles sold at Walmart last fall are recalled. The wick can burn too close to the glass and it can break, causing fire or injuries. These are mainstay candles sold in Halloween or autumn themes. The manufacturer is refunding money. And MacBook owners could be owed up to $395 from Apple. But claims have to be filed by Monday. It's part of a class action lawsuit settlement. The suit alleged Apple knew its butterfly keyboards were flawed, but hid the problem. Customers had complained about issues like sticky keys. Apple denies wrongdoing, but if you bought a MacBook between 2015 and 2019 and had to replace the keyboard or single keys, you're eligible for money. How much money depends on how many repairs you got. We have a link to file a claim on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
A 7-foot alligator. That's exactly what Texas Parks and Wildlife discovered earlier today in a woman's backyard. There you see it. That woman told game wardens it was her pet, but state law saw it differently. This is actually a story that began about 20 years ago. That's when the woman told wildlife officials she was volunteering at the Animal World and Snake Farm near New Braunfels, just off of I-35. She stole an alligator egg when she worked there. Since then, that gator has outgrown the space in the woman's backyard. Game wardens say that alligator was healthy and well taken care of, but Texas law only allows people to keep alligators if they are farming, educating, or using them for zoological reasons.
She did take it a little bit tough, but she does still have to follow all of the rules and regulations in the state.
My heart goes out to her, and we're going to give it a good home.
Yeah, the alligator went back to the snake farm. The woman will face up to $1,000 in fines and fees for illegally possessing an alligator. There you see the gator being taken back to Animal World and Snake Farm. Now, in case you're wondering, that woman will be able to visit the gator just later. We're out of time. The Night at Night returns on Monday. Have a great weekend. See you on the Night Beat.